Hello from Homeschool, Minnesota, also known as MACHE. MACHE stands for Minnesota Association of Christian Home Educators. My name is Allie Palmer, and I am here to welcome you to the beginning of your homeschool journey. We're going to cover the law, some things to do, some things to be careful of, and hopefully help you get started to make this year go a little bit easier. We're going to call this Homeschool 101. 2020 has certainly been an unusual year for education. Maybe you're jumping into homeschooling because of the experience you had with the school district this spring. Maybe you're choosing it because you want to do something different with your family. Whether you're starting with a kindergartner or transitioning your kids from school, we're going to give you tools that you can use to make this year a good year at home. We are going to start with 5 important legal aspects of homeschooling in Minnesota: reporting, subjects, number of days, testing, and record keeping. Let's start with reporting. If you're starting to homeschool your child or children and they have not been enrolled in public school, you are required to send an initial letter of intent to homeschool to the superintendent of the district where you reside by October 1st for your children who are 7 years old or older. Following years, you'll file the intent to continue homeschooling, again by October 1st, and you'll do that for each year until your children reach 16. Always keep a copy of the filings that you make with the superintendent. If you're withdrawing your children ages 7 to 17 from public school during the summer, fill out the initial report to homeschool, and you'll have to hand carry it in or send it by certified mail to the district office within the first 2 weeks of the starting date for public school. If you withdraw your children ages 7 to 17 from public school mid-year, you must notify the superintendent within 15 days of withdrawal. You must submit the same information contained in the initial letter of intent to homeschool. So it's best to file the letter of intent within 15 days after withdrawal. There are special circumstances if you're withdrawing your child who is under the age of 7. You must notify the superintendent, and the withdrawal must be for a good cause. Transferring to a different school option, such as homeschooling, is a good cause. Then you have to wait to file your initial report until the child is 7, on or before October 1st of the following school year. There is one other special circumstance. If you're removing a child from a public school after turning 17 years of age, you must attend a meeting with the school personnel to discuss educational opportunities available for the student and sign a written election to withdraw from school. Most importantly, MACHE has prepared forms for your convenience located on the Minnesota Law page of mache.org. You're free to craft your own as long as you include the information required by the statutes. Minnesota law requires we teach certain subjects. They are reading, writing, math, literature, fine arts, science, history, geography, economics, government, citizenship, health, and physical education. Curriculum. That's the question you're asking. What am I going to use for curriculum? And the answer isn't simple. I can't just tell you this is the one curriculum that you should use. There are a myriad of options. Options that are DVD based, that are all book based, where there's ones where you choose each subject for yourself, and others where you buy a kit and everything that you need for almost all of your subjects, maybe minus math, are included in the kit. And it depends on you, on your style. Do you want to just be handed the whole curriculum and say, here's what you do every day. If you do this, you're doing enough. Or would you want to choose your own? You know, I like this style of writing. I want to focus on creative writing, or I want to work on grammar. Choose which kind of history you want to study. Do you want to do American or world history? What perspective do you want to come through? There are thousands of options. And there are lots of great resources. And one of the best resources is the people you know and the homeschool forums. Now let's talk about the schedule. There's no certain amount of hours that are legally required. Although when it comes to high school, 1 credit hour usually equates between 100 and 120 hours. As far as, you know, week by week or the whole year schedule, you can break it up the way you want to. Some families school all year and take frequent week-long breaks interspersed into the year. Other people like to have their summers off, right? We live in Minnesota. Summers are beautiful. And follow the school schedule so that their kids are on vacation at the same time as their neighbor friends and cousins or whoever they want to play with. The school schedule that you choose isn't dictated by law. Now, your schedule that you keep as a family also doesn't have to look like a traditional school day. You don't have to do one subject from 8 till 8:30 and then switch to the next subject from 8:30 till 9:15. You get to choose. I did find that having some sort of regular routine helped equip everybody in the family to know what was happening and what was happening next. But dictating it by time can also be difficult as you feel constant stress and pressure when things come up. So we went with a very flexible schedule. Here's an example of a schedule that I did with my kids. You see that I show what they needed to get done and what we planned to get done over the course of the day. That we're going to do these things in the morning and these things in the afternoon, and usually in this order. When we were done with one, we'd move right to the next. My favorite part of this schedule is at the bottom where it is independent study. And I list some of their favorite things, and it really is learning, right? This was where all their electives were and the things that they wanted to do, and it helped motivate them to get done the things that they had to do because they got to do things they want to do, right? And isn't that life? We do the things we have to do so that we can do the things we want to do. Fortunately, a lot of the things that they want to do are also learning. They want to cook, they want to build, they want to create. And so putting that as a motivator and then also giving them the freedom to choose really helped my family and my kids to get through the school day. Another thing that helped our schedule is thinking about what can we learn together versus what has to be learned separately. I think a lot of times when we're looking at the school and the schedule, we think, okay, well, this child has to be doing 3rd grade science and this one has to be doing 5th grade history. Well, the lines are kind of blurry when it comes to things like science and history and creative writing. You know, creative writing, they can write on a similar subject or similar ideas just at their own grade level. History, they can do projects on the same topics and you cover them as a family. Or you use something like the story of the world and it has ideas for different age groups. Science can easily be integrated within different age groups as well. And so then, you know, I was really left with math. Math is the core one where they're going to be doing something different. And we usually coordinated so that they were doing math at the same time. So I was in math mode, they were in math mode, and I could go between which child needed help. My last piece of advice with your schedule is the school day doesn't have to be all packed in to a certain time frame. It's okay to take breaks, and especially when your kids are younger, breaks are going to be your lifeline. So your kids' focus might be 15, 20, 30 minutes. It's okay. Do a reading lesson or a math lesson for those 15 or so minutes, and then Give them time to do something that's physical or artsy or whatever it is they need to be able to come back and focus. And you take that time and run a quick load of dishes, that it can be integrated into your day and how you do life. Lastly, I want to say that all learning doesn't come from a book. It doesn't come from a curriculum. It's okay to go outside and play, to go to the nature center and find creative ways to learn. Homeschoolers rarely stay home all the time. We enjoy going out and learning on site in so many different locations, and we have the freedom to do that. We're not bringing a classroom of 30 kids. We're bringing our own kids, and the world is your oyster. Go out and discover and learn with your kids. Children between the ages of 7 and 16 are required to take a nationally standardized achievement test each year. However, parents are not required to turn in the results of the test to the district. You keep the results on file with your records. If your child scores below the 30th percentile of the total battery score, you are required to obtain additional evaluation to determine if the child has special needs. Many people use the ACT test during junior year. For ideas regarding which test to use, go to MACHE.org and look under resources for testing options. It is good to include class schedules, copies of materials used for instruction, and description of methods used to assess student achievement. Write down what curriculum you used. Keep samples of their work, their workbooks. A lot of it you're going to want to keep anyways. MACHE wants to come alongside you with encouragement and help equip you so you can homeschool with confidence and peace. The website MACHE.org provides resources and community for you on your homeschooling journey. They are here for us year-round, inspiring, equipping, and protecting our right to homeschool. They have a legislative liaison at the Capitol monitoring and advocating for the freedom of Minnesota homeschoolers. So school might not look like what you imagine school to look like. I bet there'll be very few days where your kids just sit happily at the table with their pencil and march through their books. But it is an invaluable journey that you are helping your kids to create lasting, meaningful connections with each other, with quality material, with skills, with relationships, and there is a lot that you are going to learn on this journey too.